Hey, this message is for Dan McClellan.
All right, let's see it.
By the way, Dan, my name is Joe. I bought your book, read through it already. It took me about 2.5 months. It's probably going to take me even longer to unpack a lot of the things. Just want to say thank you for what you've done with that piece of work there.
Thanks so much, Joe, for the kind words and for your support. I appreciate it.
So, been following you for almost 2 years now, so I'm pretty excited to ask you this question. Hopefully you'll entertain it for me.
I'll think about it.
And I think you've done a video on tithing one time before, perhaps multiple times. But what's the truth about this, right? Did we get this twisted somehow? Is this Israel's taxation system? The way I understand it, there's a Levitical tithe, there's a festival tithe, and then I believe there's a charity tithe. So wouldn't that mean that there's multiple tithes with maybe like an average of somewhere between 20 and 22% if you kind of average it out over the years? It would really help me if you could provide some guidance on this that's more explicit as to those particular passages. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for a great question, Joe, and you're absolutely right. If you look at all the tithes that are prescribed across the Hebrew Bible, there are multiple of them, and they would add up to 20% or more, although some of them are less frequent than others. And the reason for this is because they belong to different literary layers. And when those literary layers were initially proliferated, they either superseded any authoritative literary layer that came before, or this happened independent of the other literary layers. Because you have a tithe, the earliest one that we reconstruct is one that is more about sharing with the underprivileged in your community and with the local priesthood and priests. And then when you get centralized worship in Jerusalem, you have a tithe that is supposed to come into the temple in Jerusalem. And then later on with the priestly layer, you have a tithe that is specifically for the Levitical priesthood. And so these are intended to serve different interests and either supersede or function independently of other tithes. And it's not until all the texts are gathered together and are considered a single authoritative corpus that you suddenly have to deal with compounded tithing requirements. And so you have some Jewish texts that will say, well, yeah, you're supposed to do this one, then the other one, then the other one. And yeah, that's a big chunk of your income. But the majority of folks said, no, you don't have to do all of them all at the same time. So it depends on what tradition you're looking at, but yeah, the tithe is not something that is consistent throughout the Hebrew Bible. Like all of the Bible, it is not univocal, it is multivocal. These are different folks writing to different audiences for different reasons in different time periods. And so it is an artifact of our bringing all these texts together and saying they function as one single unified and consistent corpus that results in compounding the tithes. So I don't think anybody expects anyone to pay all the tithes, and there's not a temple anymore anyway, and so the majority of the tithes wouldn't be used for anything either. So yeah, tithing is kind of a problematic, sometimes confusing feature of treating the Hebrew Bible as one consistent literary unit, and it's really not. And the fit for this video has been Mega Man.